Mom. 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 Look. You see me like this? I grow. Connor. 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 Connor.
Okay, you're going to slide over a bit. Good. Okay.
I was gonna bring my snake and she's gonna jump there.
We're good.
And of course, as I said, double check everything. It's pretty comfy,
Good.
but it's hot. What would happen if I said one thing wrong next time?
Did you see the Zoom? It opens up. Sorry. Nothing happens. You just stop, correct your mistake, and move on. Okay? Don't worry. You're good. You're good. Don't you worry. You really connect.
I like the color purple. I don't know what you want from me.
You and your sister.
Yep. What the nose, the blank number, not the blue parentheses under.
No reason, parenthesis number, not a black number.
It's not morning.
I know. But it's page. These are the parenthesis numbers. And we have to use the parenthesis numbers because his book only has the parenthesis numbers.
Okay.
Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom and welcome to all of you who are here and all of you who are joining us via our live stream on YouTube. And wonderful to share this exciting day with Anthony as Anthony celebrates becoming Bar Mitzvah. And I know your family is so proud of you, and I'm sure you are proud of yourself. Yeah. And modest. Yes. Good. So wonderful to be together. A few words just to introduce those of you who are new to Temple. This is the prayer book that we'll be using. We hope that you will be able to follow along. On the inside, on each of the pages, at the bottom, are 2 sets of numbers. And some of the books have, for complicated reasons, because we can't do anything simply, will follow the blue numbers that are in parentheses. Those are the numbers that we'll be using, okay? Because that's the numbers that Anthony has in his book that he's been working with, right? Okay, good. So, as we begin, we welcome Shabbat, and we enjoy this moment of hard work and transition for Anthony as you take on this meaningful and series of the beginnings of adult responsibility in Jewish life. And so as you do that, the way that you demonstrate that is by reading Torah and by leading the congregation in worship this morning. And so, Anthony, where do you think we should begin?
Page 185.
Let's do that. Page 185.
May the door of this synagogue be wide enough to receive all who hunger for love, all who are lonely for friendship. May it welcome all who have cares to unburden, thanks to express, hopes to nurture. May the door of this synagogue be narrow enough to shut out pettiness and pride, envy and enmity. May its threshold be no stumbling block to young or straying feet. May it be too high to admit complacency, selfishness, and harshness. May this synagogue be for all who enter the doorway to a richer and more meaningful life. Page 188.
As we turn to page 188, we join together in Hine Matov. How wonderful, how good it is for us to be together.
הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שברחים גם יחד. 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 הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שברחים גם יחד.
Please turn to page 190.
And on page 190, we find the Talit blessing. And so we'll invite Anthony's parents forward. Come on up. Right over here. So Anthony, this is your Talit, one lovingly chosen by your parents, and a gift to you from them. And so I'll ask them to hold it up for you. And we'll say the blessing together. Go ahead.
Baruch atah Adonai
Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kishanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehidatev b'tzitzit. And take it in your hands. On top. There we go, remember? Okay. Now we do the ever-loving talit flip. There you go. Perfect. Okay. All right. Sounds great. Mazel tov. Thank you. Thank you.
Page 192.
Ma tovu ohalecha Yaakov, how beautiful are your tents, O Jacob, wherever you live, O Israel. And it is true that our tent has expanded. And so we have many of our congregation here with us, but we also have many, many people who are joining us via our live stream. And so our tent encompasses both a physical place that we are and where we gather, but also our spiritual experience, our spiritual home, which is now much, much larger. And so let's join together. Ma tovu.
Ma tovu ohalecha Yaakov, ohalecha Yaakov, mishkenotecha Yisrael. Ma tovu ohalecha Yaakov, ohalecha Yaakov, mishkenotecha Yisrael. Va'ani berov chastecha avo beitecha, eshtachave el hai kodshecha be'iratecha. Ma tovu ohalecha Yaakov, ohalecha Yaakov, mishkenotecha Yisrael. Ma tovu ohalecha Yaakov, ohalecha Yaakov, mishkenotecha Yisrael.
Please turn to page 194.
194.
Praise to you, Adonai our God, sovereign of the universe, who formed the human body with skill, creating the body's many pathways and openings. It is well known before your throne of glory that if one of them be wrongly opened or closed, it would be impossible to endure and stand before you. Blessed are you, Adonai, who heals all flesh, working wondrously. Page 196.
As we thank God for our souls, Elohai Neshama.
Elohai neshama shenatata bi Elohai neshama shenatata bi tehorahi You created me, you shaped me, you breathed me into life. You created me, you made me, you breathed me into life. Ata אתה נפחת, נפחת בי. אלוהי, נשמה שנתת בי, שנתת בי. אלוהי, נשמה שנתת בי, שנתת בי. טהורה היא, טהורה היא.
My God, the soul you have given me is pure. You created it, you shaped it, you breathed it into me, and you protect it within me. For as long as my soul is within me, I offer thanks to you, Adonai, my God, and God of my ancestors, source of all creation, sovereign of all souls. Praised are you, Adonai, in whose hand is every living soul and the breath of humankind. Page 198.
We join together in our daily blessings. Hands up if you do the same thing every day in the morning. As you get up in the morning, you basically do the same thing every day, right? Taking those things for granted, most of us. But our tradition says, wait, just think of those daily rituals. Everything from that first moment where you realize that you're awake, when you open your eyes, the first time you put your feet on the ground. And tradition says, you know what? Let's be thankful for those little things in life. Let's be thankful for the little miracles that happen each and every day that allow us to wake up and begin a new day. So we'll join together in these blessings responsively.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher natan lesechvi vina leavchin ben yom uven laila.
Amen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, pokeach ivrim.
Amen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, matir asurim.
Amen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, zokef kefufim.
Amen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, rokah haaretz al hamayim.
Amen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, hamechin mitzadei gaver.
Amen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, malbish arumim.
Amen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, hanoten li'aev koach.
Amen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, hamevir shena me'ena utmina me'afa pai.
Amen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, sha'asani b'tselem Elohim.
Amen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, she'asani bat chorin.
Amen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, sha'asani Yisrael.
Amen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, ozer Yisrael bigvura.
Amen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, oter Yisrael b'tifarah.
I am a Jew because the faith of Israel depends no abdication of my mind. I am a Jew because the faith of Israel requires all the devotion of my heart. I am a Jew because in every place where suffering weeps, the Jew weeps. I am a Jew because at every time when despair cries out, the Jew hopes. I am a Jew because the word of Israel is the oldest and the newest. I am a Jew because Israel's promise is a universal promise. I am a Jew because for Israel the world is not completed, we are complete in it. I am a Jew because for Israel humanity is not created, we are creating it. I am a Jew because Israel places humanity and its unity above the nations and above Israel itself. I am a Jew because above humanity, image of the divine unity, Israel places the unity which is divine. Page 204.
And there we join together in our blessing for worship and for study.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu l'sok divrei Torah. O Adonai our God, let the words of Torah be sweet in our mouths, and the mouths of your people Israel, so that we, our descendants and the descendants of all your people Israel, may know you by studying your Torah for its own sake. Blessed are you, Adonai, who teaches Torah to your people Israel. Page 212. Blessed is the one who spoke and the world came to be. Blessed is the one. Blessed is the one who continually authors creation. Blessed is the one whose word is deed. Blessed is the one who decrees and fulfills. Blessed is the one who is compassionate towards the world. Blessed is the one who is compassionate towards all for all time, ever ending. Blessed is the one who redeems and saves. Blessed is God's name. With songs of praise we extol you and proclaim your sovereignty, for you are the source of life in the universe. One God, life of the universe, praised and glorious ruler, your name is eternal. Page 214.
Mizmor Shir Leyom HaShabbat, a song for Shabbat.
מזמור שיר ליום השבת, טוב להודות לאדוני, ולזמר לשמך עליון, ולזמר לשמך עליון. מזמור שיר ליום השבת, טוב להודות לאדוני, ולזמר לשמך עליון, ולזמר לשמך עליון. להגיד בבוקר חסדך, באמונת הבעלות, עלי אסור ועלי נבל, עלי היגיון וכינור. מזמור שיר ליום השבת, טוב להודות לאדוני, ולזמר לשמך עליון, ולזמר לשמך עליון, ולזמר לשמך עליון.
Hurry, go. Just go. Page 224, as we rise for Chatzi Kaddish.
יתקדל ויתקדש שמי רבה.
Amen.
ועלמא דברך ירצה וימליך מלכותי בחייכון וביומכון ובחיי דכל בית ישראל בגלה בגלה ובזמן קריב באמרו אמן. יהי שמי רבה מבורך לעלם לעלמי עלמיה יתברך יתברך וישתבח V'it ba'ar v'it romam v'it naseh v'it adar v'it aleh v'it alal shmei kudasha barichu le'elam min kol birchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechemata Damiran be'alma ve'imeru. Amen.
And we continue on page 226 with Baruch. Please be seated as we continue page 228. We join in Yotzer Or, thanking God for the wonders and the miracles of creation. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, Yotzer Or uvorei choshech, Osei shalom uvorei et hakol, Hameir la'aretz v'ladarim aleha barachamim, Uftuvo mechadesh b'chol yom tamid ma'aseh v'reshit. Ma rabu ma'asecha Adonai. Kulam b'chochma asita mala ha'aretz kinyanecha. Titbarach Adonai Eloheinu al shevach ma'aseh yadecha ve'al me'orei or she'asita yifa'arucha sela. Or chadash al Tzion ta'ir. ונזכה כולנו מהרה לאורו, ברוך אתה אדוני, יוצר המאורות.
Page 231. Love your neighbor as yourself, he said, and light-blinded we saw that inner and outer worlds are one, as you are one. You spoke and we reached for you down the centuries, your light moving before us as we climbed, fell back and climbed again, your Sinai of life.
Baruch atah Adonai, habocher ba'amo Yisrael, be'ahava.
Please rise for the Shema on page 232.
Shema Adonai
seated as we continue with Ve'ahavta on the following page.
ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך וקשרתם לאות על ידיך והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותי והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם אני אדוני אלוהיכם אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים להיות לכם לאלוהים אני אדוני אלוהיכם
Adonai Elohechem Emet.
Page 235. When justice burns within us like a flaming fire, when love evokes will and sacrifice from us, when, to the last full measure of selfless devotion, we demonstrate our belief in the ultimate triumph of truth and righteousness, then your goodness enters our lives and we can begin to change the world. And then you live in our hearts and we, through righteousness, behold your presence. Page 239. The eternal truth is that you alone are God and there is none else. May the righteous of all nations rejoice in your love and exult in your justice. Let them beat their swords into plowshares and their spears into pruning hooks. Let nation not lift up sword against nation, nor learn war any more. You shall not hate your brother or your sister in your heart. The stranger that sojourns with you shall be accepted as your equal, for you were strangers in the land of Egypt. Why do you crush my people and oppress the poor? Asked God. We know that the Eternal One defends the poor and upholds the rights of the needy. Praise to God Most High, blessed is God and deserving of blessing.
So we join together in Mi Chamocha on page 240, our Song of Freedom.
Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha netar b'kodesh, nora tehilot oseh feleh, nora tehilot oseh feleh. Shira chadasha shibechu geulim, leshimcha sfat hayom, yachad kulam hodu.
Page 242. Please rise. Adonai Siva'ot. Wait, no.
Let's join together. Adonai
Adonai
Sifatai
Sifatai
Tiftach,
Ufi Yagi Tehilatecha.
Adonai,
Open up my lips, that my mouth may declare your praise.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu Velohei Avotenu v'Imotenu Elohei Avraham Elohei Yitzchak Velohei Yaakov Elohei Sarah Elohei Rivka Elohei Rachel Velohei Leah Ha'el Hagadol Hagibor v'Hanora El Elyon Gomel Chasadim Tovim Vekonei Hakol Vezocher Chastei Abot V'Imahot Umevi Gula Livnei Vneihem Leman Shemo Be'ahava Melech Ozer U'Mashiach U'Magen Baruch Atah Adonai Magen Avraham Vezrat Sarah Atah Gibor Le'olam Adonai Mechayei HaKol Atah Rav Lehoshia Mechalkel Chaim Bechesed Mechayei HaKol Berachamim Rabim Somech Noflim Verofech Olim Umatir Asurim Umekayem emunato lishenei afar michamocha bal gevurot umito melach melech memit umechaye umatzmiach Yeshua v'neman atah lechayot hakol Baruch atah Adonai mechayeh hakol Nekadesh et shimcha ba'olam Keshem shemakdishim oto b'shmei marom Kakatuv al yad neviecha V'kara zel ze ve'amar Kadosh, 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 Adonai Tzevaot, Meloch ol haaretz, Kevodo. Adir, Adirenu, Adonai, Adonenu, Ma'adir Shimcha, B'chol haaretz, Baruch Kevod Adonai Mimkomo Echad Hu Eloheinu Hu Avinu Hu Malkeinu Hu Mosheinu Vehu Yashmienu Berachamav Le'nei Kol Chai Ani Adonai Elohechem Yimloch Adonai le'olam Elohai Zion Ledor vador Hallelujah Ledor vador nagid God lecha Ulenetzach netzachim kedushatcha nagdish V'shivchacha Eloheinu mipinu lo yamush le'olam va'ed Baruch atah Adonai ha'el hakadosh.
Please be seated as we continue together, page 250.
Veshamru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat ledorotam berit olam beini uvein b'nei Yisrael oti le'olam oti le'olam Veshamru v'nei Yisrael השמיים ואת הארץ, ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. וביום השביעי שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש, ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם.
Let's turn together to page 255. On this holy Shabbat, may we draw nearer to life, to peace, to joy. May we find true rest, holiness in our deeds, worthy in our study of Torah. Let us feed on the love of goodness. Let us drink from the love of goodness, restrain our thirst for excess, and cleanse our hearts to serve life well. On this holy Shabbat, may we draw nearer in life, in peace, and in joy. Baruch atah Adonai, she'otcha levadcha b'yirah na'avod. Let's join together on page 256 in the middle. We acknowledge with thanks that you, Adonai, are God, and the God of our ancestors forever. You are the rock of our lives, the shield of our salvation in every generation. Let us thank you and praise you for our lives which are in your hand, for our souls which are in your care, for your miracles that we experience every day, and for your wondrous deeds and favors at every time of day, evening, morning, and noon. O God, O good one, whose mercies never end, O compassionate one, whose kindness never fails, we forever put our hope in you. Page 258. Let's join together in the bottom half of the page of 259, our prayer for peace. Grant us peace, your most precious gift, O eternal source of peace, and give us the will to proclaim its message to all peoples of the earth. Bless our country as a safeguard of peace and its advocate among the nations. May contentment reign within our borders, health and happiness within our homes. Strengthen the bonds of friendship and fellowship among the inhabitants of our world. Plant virtue in every soul, and may the love of your name hallow every home and every heart. Praised are you, Adonai, who blesses your people with peace.
Sim shalom, tova uvracha. Sim shalom, tova uvracha. Chem v'chesed, chem v'chesed v'rachamim. Chem v'chesed, chem v'chesed v'rachamim, v'rachamim. Sim shalom, tova uvracha. Sim shalom, tova uvracha. Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Amecha. Sim shalom, tova uvracha. Tova uvracha.
We take a few moments and leave our prayer books aside for a minute and look inward to the prayers in our own hearts, our own minds, our conversations with the one who creates all. We take a few moments for silent prayer. We turn together now to Seder Kriyat HaTorah, our Torah service, on page 362. And we invite Anthony's parents and grandparents forward as we prepare to transfer the Torah from one generation to the next. Come stand over here. And Anthony, you're going to stand next to Mom. You're Dave, right there. Yep. The two of you are over here. Thank you. Just slide down. Very good. Come to the mic. Why don't you come to this mic? And Connor, why don't you come up and you'll open the ark for us, okay?
Ein kemocha ba'Elohim Adonai, ve'ein kemasecha, malchutecha malchut kol olamim, umemshaltecha bechol dor v'ador. Adonai melech, Adonai malach, Adonai imloch, le'olam va'ed, Adonai ozeh moyiten, Adonai yevarech et hamo v'shalom.
Anthony, as you receive this Torah, it comes to you down through the generations of our people over the last maybe 4,000 or even 5,000 years. people who have cherished and carried this message and this Torah throughout history. It also comes to you through the hands of your family, who have given you the ability and the opportunity to embrace it and to cherish it. And so as this Torah is down passed through the generations of our congregation, you are the next link in that chain to accept this into your heart as your own. And so we continue on page 364, Ki Mitzion.
Ki mitzion tetzei Torah, Ki mitzion tetzei Torah, udevar Adonai miYerushalayim. Baruch Shenatan Torah, Torah. Baruch Shenatan Torah, Torah. Le'amo Yisrael b'kedushato. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. Echad Eloheinu Gadol Adonenu Kadosh Shemo. Lecha Adonai Hagedula V'Hagevura V'Hatiferet V'Hanetzach V'Hahod. Ki kol b'shamayim u'va'aretz, ki kol b'shamayim u'va'aretz. Lecha Adonai hamamlacha, v'yamid na'aseh lechol erosh. Lai 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 lai.
Please be seated. Okay. There we go. For the first Aliyah this morning, we're going to call the entire congregation. So, if you have never had an Aliyah before, you can join together with us. If you have, you will be able to help us lead. And so the blessings before the reading can be found together on page 368. And we'll rise together as we say the blessings before the first reading. Baruch et Adonai Hamvorach, Baruch Adonai Hamvorach leolam va'ed, Baruch Adonai Hamvorach leolam va'ed, Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bachar banu mikol hamim, V'natan lanu et Torato, Baruch atah Adonai, noten haTorah. Please be seated.
Ele todot Noach, ish tzadik tamim haya bedorotav et את האלוהים התהלך נוח, ויולד נוח 3 בנים, את שם, את חם ואת יפת. ותשחט הארץ לפני האלוהים, ותמלא הארץ חמס, וירא אלוהים את הארץ, והנה נשחטה כי השחית כל בשר את דרכו על הארץ.
And we stand together for the blessing after the reading. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher natan lanu torat emet, v'chayei olam nata b'tochenu. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah. Please be seated, and for our second aliyah, we call Connor Bille, Ya'amod Yitzhak Asher ben Michaela Avigail la'aliyah sheni.
Baruch et Adonai Hamvorach.
Baruch Adonai Hamvorach leolam va'ed.
Baruch Adonai Hamvorach leolam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bachar banu min kol ha'amim, v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen.
Vayomer Elohim lenoach kate kol basar ba lefanai ki mala haaretz hamas mipnehem v'hineni mashchitam et haaretz aseh lecha tevat atse gofer kinim ta'aseh et hateva v'chafarta ota mibayit umichutz bakofer, v'zeh asher ta'aseha ita 3 me'ot ama orecha hateva 50 ama rochba uslishim ama komata.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher natan lanu Torat emet, v'chayei olam natan b'tochenu. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen. Yasher koach. Thank you. And for our third aliyah this morning, we call Michelle Bille, Ta'amod Michaela Avigail bat Avraham v'Sarah la'aliyah shlishi.
Baruch et Adonai Hamvarach.
Baruch Adonai Hamvorach leolam va'ed.
Baruch Adonai Hamvarach leolam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bacher beinu mikol hamim v'natenu lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen.
Zor ta'aseh lateva ve'el ama techa lana mi lema'ala ufetach hateva b'tzida tasim techa tachtim shnayim uslishim ta'aseh ve'ani hineni mevi et hamabul Mayim al haaretz l'shachet kol basar asher bo ruach Chaim mitachat hashamayim kol asher ba'aretz yigva. V'hakimoti et beriti itach uvata el hateva ota v'uvanecha v'asafta v'ishtecha unshevanecha itach mikol hachai mikol basar shenayim mikol teva el hateva lehachayot itach zachar unkeva yiheyu.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher natan lon torot emet v'chayei olam anota boteinu, Baruch atah Adonai noten hor Torah.
Amen. And now we have the honor of calling our bar mitzvah, Anthony Bille, Ya'amod habachur habar mitzvah, Nasim Yosef ben Mikael Avigael la'aliyah revi'i.
Baruch et Adonai Hamvarach.
Baruch Adonai Hamvorach leolam va'ed.
Baruch Adonai Hamvarach le'olam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech ha'olam, asher bachar banu mikol ha'amim, v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten ha'torah.
Amen.
Me'ha'of leminehu umin habhema lemina mikol remez ha'adama leminehu shnayim mikol yavo'u elecha lehachayot ve'ata kach lecha mikol me'achel asher ye'achel ve'asafta elecha v'haya lecha v'lahem le'ochla vayas Noach kechol asher tziva oto Elohim kain asa. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech ha'olam, asher natan lanu Torat emet v'chayei olam nata b'tochenu. Baruch atah Adonai noten ha'torah.
Amen.
My Torah portion today is about Noah's Ark and how righteous Noah was. It also talks about how God and Noah were good friends and how God spared Noah's family from the flood.
We invite Michelle back to the bima for the honor of addressing the Torah. Please rise.
Vezot HaTorah asher sam Moshe lifnei bnei Yisrael al pi Adonai be'ad Moshe.
Lila.
Lai 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 Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la.
Please be seated.
This morning's Haftarah, or reading from the prophets, comes from the book of Isaiah. It tells the story of the Israelites who were living in exile in Babylon, and the promise God made to bring them back to the land of Israel. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bahar bin v'im tovim v'ratzah v'divrehem hane'emarim be'emet Baruch atah Adonai habocher b'Torah uv'Moshe avdo uv'Yisrael amo uv'in v'eh ha'emet b'tzedek. Roni akara lo yalada v'tchi rina v'zehali lo chala ki ravim b'nei shomema mibnei v'olam amar Adonai. Har chivi mikom oholech v'riot mishkenutayich yatu el hatetach shochi ha'arichi metarayich vite dotayich hazeki ki yamin usmo ul tifrotzi v'zer ech goyim irash Ve'arim nishamot yoshivu el tiri kilo tevoshi ve'el ti kalmi kilo tachfiri kivoshet alumayich tishkachi v'cherfat al menutayich lo tiz kiri od kivo alayich osayich Adonai tzevaot shemo v'go alech kedosh Yisrael Elohei kol haaretz yikareh. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam tzor kol ha'olamim tzadik b'chol hadorot ha'el ha'ne'eman ha'omer v'oseh hamdaber umkayim shechol devarav emet v'tzedek. Al haTorah ve'al ha'avodah ve'al hanvi'im ve'al yom haShabbat hazeh shenatata lanu Adonai Eloheinu likdusha ve'lim nucha lechavod utif aret al hakol Adonai Eloheinu anachnu modim lach umvarchim otoch yitbarach shimcha b'fi kol ha tavmid le'olam ve'ed Baruch atah Adonai Mikadesh HaShabbat.
Part of leading a service and is the teaching. Then you have written a beautiful Devar Torah, a beautiful teaching for us about your portion and what it means to you. Go ahead.
I think it's pretty cool that Noah was good friends with God himself. Noah was a very good friend of God, and he spared Noah's life. He spared Noah's life because he was a very good man, and he didn't do anything bad or any illegal things. He also took care of his family, other people, animals, and everything he could. One of the lessons we can learn from this part of the story is that we should all try to care about people in our lives and the world around us. I think it's awesome that Noah's Ark was huge and he could have a pair of every animal and edible food. He also had separate rooms for all the animals, and he had to make it a specific way. This was God's list of measurements and items Noah needed to make the ark. First, he needed to make the ark out of gopher wood and make it 300 cubits long, 50 cubits wide, and 30 cubits high. For those of you who don't know, a cubit is the length of the bone between your elbow and your wrist, which is almost the same for every person. Second, he needed to make a roof for the ark, making it hang over by a cubit so the animals could have protection and shade. Then he needed to put the ark's door on its side and make a bottom, second, and a third deck. I think that God being able to communicate with Noah himself was pretty cool. Through talking and walking with God, Noah received directions and followed God's word, and he knew his family would be spared. Noah was also able to walk with God, so he knew he was a good man. Becoming a bar mitzvah means that you are accepting adult Jewish responsibilities. You also are an official member of the temple and have all the privileges everyone else has in the synagogue. I want to thank my mom, dad, all my Gesher teachers, and of course Rabbi. All this wouldn't happen if I didn't learn Hebrew and work hard. This bar mitzvah was really hard to memorize, so I could say it correctly and proudly. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. We prepare now to return the Torah to the ark. And we think of all those in our lives, in our world, who need a blessing of healing. And as we have done through the centuries in the presence of Torah, we ask for God's blessing of healing for all those who need it, for all those who continually suffer through the ravages of the coronavirus, for all their caregivers, their family, their friends who work tirelessly to heal us and make us whole. We think also of all of those who are in need of healing of any sort of kind, whether it's a healing of body, of mind, of heart, soul. And we especially mention Greg Bennett, Michael Byron, Scott Gordon, Rebecca Gottlieb, Julian Howell, Thomas Costinis, Phyllis Levin, Jacob Adams, Pat Hanna, Zachary Jackson, Dane Marcinowski, Burko Shervetsky, Debbie Perry, Bruce Harrell, Sasha Leopold, Andrea Kempner-Blake, Marcia Pinsky-Koblitz, Joe and Penny Maloney, the Rodland family, Matea Press, Jack Hall, Joe Riley, Joseph Passetner, Edie Francis, Fran Porras, Frank Fusaro, Jim McCann, and Sheila Cohn. If you are joining us via live stream and you wish to add name, please add name into our chat box. If you're here in person and wish to say a name, please do so as I look around. We turn together to page 371 as we join in Misha Berach, our prayer for healing.
Of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say Amen. Mekor habracha le'avotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say Amen.
We turn together as we return the Torah to the Ark, and we invite Connor back to open the Ark, and we turn to page 256. Please rise. Yahalalu et Shem Adonai ki nisgav shemo levado. Let us praise the name of Adonai, for God's name alone is exalted.
Eitz Chaim hi lemachazikim ba v'tomchea meushar darchei noam v'chol netivoteha shalom. Hashivenu Adonai elecha v'nashuva Chadesh Chadesh Yameinu Chadesh Yameinu kekedem.
Please be seated. We're going to invite David and Michelle forward to share some words with Anthony. You have to come use the microphone, otherwise people can't hear.
Sorry, it's Michelle's.
Right, yes, sorry. Dave, you've got to be close to the mic.
Oh, all right.
Thank you.
Hello and good morning. Thank you, everyone, for coming to Anthony's bar mitzvah today. Let me take a minute and say thank you to the congregation for accepting my family, Michelle, Connor, and Anthony, into this temple, and for helping us celebrate with Anthony today. In 2015, Michelle and my family son started coming to the services and learning the Jewish religion. Anthony has been going through this journey. There's been days he didn't feel like it, but he has, and he's endured. He didn't like doing his lessons with Rabbi Morey sometimes.
What?
But he did, and he got through them. It has made him a better person. Listening to Anthony and see his improvement every week, I was in the background, and just listening to him and learning made me proud of his progress and determination to make this happen for himself and for our family. Congratulations, Anthony.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Your turn.
You act like I'm going to say nice things. I do want to say thank you to everyone who has helped all of us on our journey. It has not always been very easy for Anthony to learn all the Hebrew. He's tried very hard, but it's difficult when you learn another language that is not your common language. So the fact that he still kept at it and worked through it, I'm very proud of you. And I know you did it because you wanted to make sure that you got through this journey and, again, made your mother happy. I do also want to thank Rabbi Murray for all of the patience that you've shown to him, all the accommodations you've made while he struggled through some of this. It really does mean a lot to me that you were so open to some of the challenges and worked with him so well. Thank you.
Now it's my turn. Deep breath. How does it feel?
Good.
Good. It should feel good. Beyond the learning that you did, which was sometimes challenging, and I guess, the real lesson is that anything worth doing is going to be a challenge. Anything you learning is going to be a challenge. If we only had to do things we already knew, we'd never learn anything new. And part of this was mastering the ability to read Torah, this ancient document. And there's a tradition that says that everybody who reads from a particular scroll leaves a piece of themselves with that scroll. But in return, they get a gift. And the gift is that they take with you, the spirit and a little piece of everybody else who has read from that scroll. So you've grown a lot today as you read through that scroll. You've taken on the experience of so many generations from this temple who have read that story and that scroll. And you did it with grace and poise. And you, as we studied, progressed every week. And every week it became a little easier, right? Yeah. I remember when we first started, you said, I can't do this. Right? Remember that? I'm not going to do this. And I said, yeah, you'll be fine. He said, well, it's too much. How can I do this? Don't worry. You'll be fine. Because it's not about looking at the whole thing. It's about taking things one step at a time, one line at a time, even sometimes one word at a time. And if there is any lesson in life, that's a valuable one. That if you try to look at a problem in its whole, it's scary. But break it down, word by word, and you get to the end. And you are able to master it. And you did. So for next year, what are you going to read? I sort of say that in joking, and I sort of don't. Because we often have people who come back and read, and so we hope that you will. And we hope that you will, continue, and we'll see you many times reading Torah and doing other things at Temple. And so, we ask for God's blessing in the ancient words of Torah. Yivarechecha Adonai v'yishmarecha, may God always bless you and keep you. Ye'er Adonai panav elecha v'yichuneka, may God's presence be with you and may God guide you. Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yasem lecha shalom, may God always be with you and may God always grant you the blessings of health, of happiness, and of peace. Amen. Amen. And we thank God in allowing all of us to be here at this amazing, amazing time. The words of Shehechianu.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam שהחיינו וקיימנו והגיענו לזמן הזה.
Mazel tov. Mazel tov. You can go sit down. Oh, no, you can't sit down.
Not done just yet.
I'd like to invite our first Vice President, Rochelle Krowinski, forward to share some thoughts and some gifts for you.
Thank you.
Hi, Anthony.
Hi.
How are you doing?
Good.
I'll tell you, what a morning. You were wonderful. And as Rabbi said, take a deep breath. You've done the hard work. Now you get the presents, right? As well as the wonderful well wishes of all of us. And, you know, one of the things the Rabbi said was that you take away a part of us. You're never alone. You are part of this temple family, and I am delighted to be here representing your temple family today. We want to offer our mazel tov, our congratulations on a job well done, and your accomplishment as a bar mitzvah. And so I have some presents to give you, but I first want to share with you that as a way to kind of get to know you, we asked your teachers to maybe share some comments or some thoughts about you. Is that okay? Mm-hmm. All right. So let me read some of those comments that your teachers shared when asked about you. One of them said, Anthony is a very bright young man. I should have his step still here. He's a thoughtful listener, very likable, and gets along well with others. Another teacher said, Anthony is energetic, a very happy student. He always has a smile on his face and is willing to participate and help out. You pushed through and forward and made it through a very difficult school year. Thank you. When everything was online, that was really tough. I mean, it's hard enough, you know, learning a new language, learning these things and so forth, but to be distance learning was tough, and you did it. I am so proud, this teacher said, of how far he has come and his dedication to Judaism. You never gave up, they said. One of Anthony's other teachers went on to say, Anthony is a very good Hebrew student. He did well in my class learning the prayers. He had a positive attitude and worked hard at learning his Torah portion. And that came through. You really loved that portion, and talking about Noah and what his experience was with God came through. And that was really, you were a wonderful teacher this morning, Anthony. Thank you. And the last comment from his teachers was, Anthony is very nice, courteous, and although very quiet, always participates in class. So it's obvious, Anthony, you impressed your teachers. The common themes that came through were of a person who's bright and conscientious, hardworking, and very important, a kind young man. You and your family have so much to be proud of, and as a representative of this temple, we are so thrilled to have such a wonderful, bright, young, kind young man join us. So I would like to honor you a little bit further by presenting you with a certificate which shows that you have completed your bar mitzvah, your study successfully. And I also have some gifts here, a gift here from the temple. So thank you so, so very much, Anthony, and congratulations again. Shabbat shalom.
We'll call up Jan Mandel, representing the Jewish Community Council of Erie.
Another short person. Thank you.
There you go.
Perfect. Perfect. Anthony, I'm tall. I'm here today as the Vice President of the Jewish Community Council, and I want to tell you how proud we are of you, and I wish you a hearty mazel tov and your whole family as well. I don't know how you kept it together because I wept through all of my kids. The sun even came out in your honor. So we have some gifts for you. The Jewish Community Council feels that education is very, very important. We feel that way for the children in our own Jewish community and also for all the other students in this area because we subsidize bus trips to the Holocaust Museum in Washington. And I hope that you'll be able to take part in that. So from us, we have some special gifts. First of all, a tree has been planted for you in Israel. Second of all, I have this book, I Am Jewish, and you actually read something today that said why you are Jewish. This book was presented by the parents of Daniel Pearl. He was a journalist that was unfortunately assassinated in the Mideast, and his parents decided in his honor, because one of the things that he said before he was killed was, I am a Jew. They asked people from all generations and all areas of Judaism to write essays on why it was important to them to be Jewish, and this is the book that entailed. And finally, and best of all, in honor of the bar mitzvah of Anthony Bille, the Jewish Community Council of Erie Israel Travel Program will fund, upon approval by our Board of Directors, 2/3 of an approved trip to Israel, up to $5,000 upon successful completion of your religious studies. So you'll be able to go to Israel, see everything, and water your tree. Mazel tov.
Thank you. Okay, you can go sit down. We turn now together to Aleinu on page 282. Please rise.
Aleinu l'shabeach l'adon hakol, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגור עלינו ככל המונם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא, שהוא נוטה שמיים ויסד הארץ, ומושב יקרו בשמיים ממעל, ושכינתו זו בגובה מרומים, הוא אלוהינו אין עוד, אמת מלכנו אפס זולתו, ככתוב בתורתו, וידעת היום והשבות אל לבבך, כי אדוני הוא האלוהים בשמיים ממעל, ועל הארץ מתחת אין עוד. ונאמר, והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ, ביום ההוא יהיה Ushemo, Ushemo, Ushemo Echad.
Please be seated. Our thoughts turn now to those who have departed this earth, our own loved ones, those whom our friends and family have lost, the martyrs of our people, and those of every race and nation whose lives have been a blessing to humanity. As we remember them, we meditate on the meaning of love and loss, of life and of death. We are in the period of Shloshim for Jesse Rubenfeld, and we observe the yahrzeits for the following: Louis J. DeRoy, Rosa Klein, Bert Cohen, Joseph Stern, Meyer Davidow, Rose Frank, Erna Selig, Minnie Schuster-Waxelbaum, Arlene Breakstone, Adolf Platowski, Martha Platt, Florence Goldstein, Molly Peel, Frida Rosenthal, Max Fetterman, Rose Schoenberg, Moses Levy, Samuel Golden, Isidore Simon, Celia Schwartz, and Meyer Nast. If anyone has a name that they would like to add and they're joining us via live stream, please add it into our chat box. If you're here in person and would like to add a name, please do so as I look around. We turn together to the words of Kaddish, page 598, and we rise. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, ba'alma divrach yerutei v'yamlich marchutei, b'chayachon uv'yomechon uv'chayei dechol beit Yisrael, ba'agala v'zman kariv v'imru, amen. Yehi shmei Rabbah mevorach la'olam u'lalmeh almaya, yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitzpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh, v'yithadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shemei dekutsha barichu, le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechamata, damiran b'alma v'imru, amen. Yehi shlama Rabbah min shemaya, v'chaim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru, amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru, amen. May the one who grants peace in the high and distant heights grant peace for us, for all Israel, for all the world. And together we say, amen. Please be seated. I'd like to invite Jan Mandel back to share some announcements.
Okay, this time I'm from the temple. Again, Mazel Tov to the Bille family for a job well done. We're very, very proud of you. I see you. Actually, tomorrow there is no Gesher or Hebrew classes, so you have a day off, and your teachers do as well. And then on Monday, our office will be closed. And Wednesday, October 13th at 7 o'clock, Rabbi's Insights into Judaism class will be beginning. If you're interested, please let us know. Thank you so much. Shabbat Shalom.
And so we'll conclude with a song whose words are Eitz Chaim Hi. It is a tree of life to those who hold fast to it, and it relates to the two scroll ends, the ends that hold the Torah. And the idea being that if you hold on to those, right, Anthony, as you hold on to those, you are enriched and enlivened with not only the essence, but the ideas, the morals, the values, the energy of Jewish life.
Eitz Chaim Hi, מחזיקים בה בתוכך, מאושר עץ חיים בille, מחזיקים בה בתוכך, מאושר. שלום, 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 shalom, shalom. It is a tree of life to those who hold fast to it, and all of its supporters are happy. It is a tree of life to those who hold fast to it, and all of its supporters are happy. Shalom, 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 shalom.
I'd like to invite the Bille family forward to lead us in Kiddush and Motzi. Connor, that means you too. All right. Michelle, come over here.
I need the book.
No, it's just the one line.
It's in the front.
Ready? Here we go. Let's join together.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei pri hagafen.
Hagafen. Amen. And you all can take a drink. Connor, hold on to that. Excellent. And let's join together. How'd that work? No. No? We'll get a better vintage next time, I guess.
Apple juice.
Yep. Let's join together in Hamotzi. Hamotzi lechem min haaretz. We give thanks to God for bread.
Our voices rise in song together as our joyful prayer is said. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, hamotzi lechem min haaretz.
Amen. Shabbat shalom, everybody. Stay safe. Stay well. Take care. Mazel tov.
Actually wasn't too bad.
It was. It tasted disgusting.
Mazel tov.
Apple juice.
And you, Mazel tov. Good job.
I thought I was going to mess up.
Proud of you. No, you did a great job. You should be proud. This goes home with you.
Okay.
Let me just turn off the...
I want to go in the kitchen.